And welcome back to Weekend Warriors, the Weekend Podcast. This is episode number 4, and we have guests here from ESB and LG Aqua. And I will be your host again for today. I am Z, Aziz, whichever you want to call it. With me, my partner in crime today is Hariwa. And before we start off the whole thing, I would like for everyone to introduce yourselves and tell them who you are. Starting from you. Starting from you, like from that side. So might as well.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Isma, and I am the member of LG Aqua, and my role in Aqua is a match user.
And hi everyone, my name is Howie. I'm the General Secretary for ESB.
I'm Farhan Hassan. So my IGN's usually Ethan Willis, and so I'm actually part of ESB as the project coordinator for most of the events that's happening.
And my name is Abdul Hakim bin Abdul Rahman. I am playing for LG Aqua. My role is tank support.
All right, sure. Now, once everyone's acquainted now, hope you guys are feeling okay. So, how's the weather doing?
How's the weather? Yeah, let's start with the weather.
Bring the ice.
I mean, on the way here, I saw a big forest fire on the way.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's been pretty sunny all day.
Windy,
But not even windy. It's really windy nowadays.
And the thing is, you don't see clouds in sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when you look up, it's like, man, there's all the clouds. But, ice breaking, I guess. So, since you guys, ESB and LG Aqua here for our guests, so can you guys explain more on what ESB is, like what you guys do and whatnot for, to us, to the audience and whatnot?
Okay, our goal actually at ESB is to bring around everyone on a gaming community to work under one roof, which is no matter what game you are in, like for example fighting games, mobile games, console, PC. But if there's a talent or maybe a potential to compete outside of Brunei, that's where we come in. We will try to give opportunities, seek connect bridges from Brunei to overseas events or tournaments, give them the link, like okay, this event allows Brunei teams to take part, and then what is the procedure, things like that. Because without an association, a lot of regional tournaments actually ignore the country involved, which is why Brunei is not part of SEA Games last year. Because there's no esports association in Brunei for the regional organizers to contact with something like that. Yeah. So with the association newly formed, we hope to close this bridge and then ensure that Brunei is actually part of regional events. So that because with more events being involved, and then teams and players gets more experience, and that's how they actually grow. Even if they lost the first few times, but eventually they will start to be mature, be more experienced, and then who knows, one day they might deliver some gold medals to Brunei. We'll never know.
Yeah. Especially with SEA Games, because I was actually surprised that they included esports in SEA Games last year. And because I read an article where a doctor or something, he won
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
From Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysian doctors, he played Hearthstone and won a gold medal, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's actually kind of cool. And the fact that he's a doctor too makes it a little bit more high up there.
Nobody can actually believe, oh, he's a doctor in
Yeah.
profession. Nobody would tell, right? How can you tell if he's a doctor and he's he actually plays games and then he wins gold for
and he's actually
people will be
good.
surprised, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, these are the kind of things where people actually has the talent, but they are not able to showcase. So that's where we come in. We provide whatever we can in terms of giving not just moral support, maybe funding if we are capable of. Which is why we need to work closely with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, because they also share the same goals with us. We hope that one day esports can be a core sports for Brunei, not just football or maybe what's the recent one, wushu, I think. Winning medals. Hopefully esports can be one day up with football and wushu and can consistently deliver results for Brunei.
I mean, we have talent. We have a lot of good players that reach the global standards, but it's just they haven't been able to showcase it.
Because I guess that's how I also feel when it comes to games at one point. Because especially in Brunei, people don't have a way to one thing besides showcasing is like there's no incentive to be playing pro. If you think about it, compared to playing in other countries like the States, or not even like that far, just Malaysia, for example. Some teams get like actually paid good amount of money to play and win for those and whatnot. So I feel like if Bruneians players have more area, I guess, a way to showcase a bit more than how you can normally do it, it's like it'll help out even more.
It's actually all comes down to the ecosystem, because why players can sustain themselves as pro players in Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, I would say the big three for C. Because one, there is a consistent amount of events that actually has big prize pool for the teams to take part. So actually all these players are playing under an organization. And the organization themselves are the one who's paying the salary. It's actually nothing to do with the association. So it's actually privately funded teams, and then they get incentives through these big events. So in Brunei, there's not a lot of events that matches the big prize pool. You can see, for example, in Malaysia, there's 100,000 prize pool to be won. But in Brunei, currently the biggest I would say is 70,000. Yes, the Expo, right? Yeah. So we can see a bit of difference. So teams will not likely to go pro because of the amount of events. There's only once a year for this 17,000.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah. So if I go pro, I were to play full time. How am I going to be sustained for the rest of the year? Right. Yeah. So actually, it's an ecosystem. You need more events with a big prize pool for players to actually turn pro. And then when they see these results, overseas sponsorship or maybe investor, that's where they will take notice. Oh, actually Brunei has players and teams, and then enough amount of events to actually for them to invest in the country. That's how it actually works. It's not through the national agency, but it's actually usually through private investors.
You're most definitely correct, because I feel like one thing, ecosystem's not here yet. And like infrastructure and whatnot, because it's not being properly recognized yet.
Yes.
So hopefully along the line we can like figure out a way to like
In
recognize.
terms of parents as well, like each individual parents, if they see
Yeah,
their child playing games,
it's not really.
automatically
True.
say
It's
that
finding the balance between
Yeah.
how do you define it as just having fun playing games and
Yeah.
doing it as a profession, as a game. Playing as an athlete.
No,
And I mean, it helps that the Olympics really actually they're taking in esports, and then because of that, the EC and C games taking it up, and then I think all the other mini those tournaments that includes esports.
because I feel like that also like helps to show like, especially countries that don't really acknowledge esports. Like, hey, the Olympics. We're talking about the Olympics. You're having like esports, and like, it's a big deal. It can get your country medals. Don't you think it's a good idea to invest on it?
True.
So it makes like a big deal, and probably along the way show people like, yo, this can be legit. You know what I mean? So aside from that, how did like what you guys did develop into what it is now? Like along the way in the back, a long time ago. Because I mean, come on, all of us are gamers here. Let's be real. So you guys probably played a couple games back then. So how did that come up to where you guys are now?
From my perspective, last time when there wasn't really any attention given to esports, we were just casually playing. And I myself started off in Dota. So it was back in 2010, 2011, around this time. I played Dota myself, and I feel I wasn't that good. So I took up the manager role. So I actually had a team called Team Revival, and we competed outside of Brunei, and then we actually went on to Selang, KL, to compete in the first ever ICT. It's called ICT Pro Dota Championship. The teams there were from China, from Malaysia, Thailand.
That's
Actually a really like the first time ever where teams from outside of C actually came in to compete, because the price actually quite big. I think it was 50,000. During that time, it's actually quite big, right?
Yeah, during that time.
Compared to it now.
Right now it's like
Right now it's like
millions,
millions.
100,000.
So as the time goes, Brunei's Dota actually had a chance, but somewhere around 2013, was it when League came out?
Yeah.
That was when
Legends.
the Dota players started transition to League,
Oh,
and then the community started getting lower.
Yeah.
And then we did not have that much player pool to choose from, so the competing level started to decrease, go down, because they are already the best. Nobody cares to beat them anymore, and they do not have many motivation to improve themselves.
Yeah.
That's where Brunei Dota team started to fall off.
I feel like that's usually how it is when it comes to teams in Brunei.
Yeah, because
Is
there's
that-
no incentive actually for them, because they don't get paid to play.
Yeah.
They don't get paid to train.
so they just stop there.
They just stop and then just play
Obviously,
casually.
yeah,
lah.
it's like
Yeah.
same thing lah. Macam when you don't look, when you see in the future and then you don't see anything, obviously you get
Yeah.
The
very
motivated
demotivated and everything.
So like for example, like that team keeps winning. You know what? I'm not gonna play. I'm just like lose and whatnot.
Yeah.
Such a bad mentality too. But I feel like that way you can, besides say organizations hiring players and whatnot. I feel like they could play around in a way that, okay, if we can beat them, like there needs to be more incentives. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Then from how they got to Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Okay. Funny story. I think 2012, I started UBD. I
Oh.
started my university,
Okay.
and then 2014, 15, I was in my third year doing the discovery year.
Mhm.
So I was in KL during this discovery year period,
Anyway.
and I attended a local gaming event in KL. And then there was this Brunei team,
Yeah.
two fellas. And then I know one of the players because he's a close friend of mine, but I didn't know they competed. It's when I attended the event, I saw that, hey, like, I didn't know you guys were here. They actually self-funded that trip. They had no sponsors back then. They just fund everything themselves. So from there, I actually didn't know how good they were until they actually reached the finals.
Whoa.
They played against a Malaysian team called MVP Carmel. That team is actually top 10 in Asia.
Asia.
I'm not sure it's Asia. During that time, lah.
Yeah.
And they went head to head, I think 16-13. That was like,
That's
Very
very
close
close.
match.
That is
Yeah.
very close.
so that's why I was like, oh, actually, this team is not bad. There's potential.
Yeah.
And then they approached me saying, would you have us to be like the team manager, arrange their schedule, training, stuff like that. Okay, lah, just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from there on, I started funding the teams with my own money, lah. Like if they go out to compete, if they want new shirts, new gears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So like, how do you scout for no, that sounded wrong. How would you, how did you see some potential wise around? Like, I mean, one thing he's your close friend, right? But
Yeah.
like, what made you think like, oh, yeah, they're pretty good. I'm gonna try and in an organizational business sort of perspective,
From that during that time, I didn't thinking from a business perspective, because I actually wanted to support this team, because I see how they can play against a big team. Right?
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
that time, MVP is really a good team. So if they can go against close head to head with them, so I feel they're pretty good, lah.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to actually shine, lah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Next time they might go pro. You never know. But for me, when it comes down to select talent, I leave it to the players to choose whoever they want to play with. Because number one, team chemistry is important for CS, and then they need to be comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
If they pick someone who is as good but they're not familiar with each other, the team will not work. So
Yeah.
I leave it down to the captain to choose who they want to play with,
Mhm.
and then we do a discussion, do a trial run. If it plays off, then okay, we'll select this guy as our fifth member, things like that, lah. Yeah. But we always started off with like doing a scouting first. Like we see this guy has very good individual skills.
Yeah.
See how he plays. Talk to him, see whether he has any interest in joining us, and then we do a trial run with the members.
Alright, that's kind of cool to see how like the process is. What about you, Farhan? Like,
So
How did you start up the first
started
ever
off-
game?
okay, so I think it all started from my early days, my early teen years. I used to
you make it sound like it was like a long time ago.
That was like I don't know, 11 years ago, I think. So basically, I used to go to the cyber all the time, play Dota. Used to see him sometimes playing in RF, right?
Yeah, I did back then.
How did you play Dota as well?
Dota. I started out with Dota. Then after that came LOL.
Oh.
Then so LOL I was more into the scene of LOL. So I used to be the cashier in Chap's Cyber Cafe. So then eventually after a few months I started being like the manager there. So I handled most of the events. We did like quite a lot of these LOL tournaments, Dota tournaments, and so eventually we decided to start our own stream and everything.
Yeah.
And so we had a stream channel called Chaps TV, and
Where was the Cyber Cafe again?
it was the one that burned down recently. You know, at the building that burned down in Times Square.
What?
That
yeah, di
bangunan
atas tu,
Haji
right?
Osman,
Yeah,
exactly.
where you-
Yeah, Faizi.
Yeah,
Faizi,
so
yeah.
the cyber's like somewhere on the top floor with all glass and whatnot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember. I wanted to compete.
So eventually, I mean, we grew a community there. Most of the top LoL players, Adib,
Yeah.
he used to be there all the time. He used to bring all his friends, everything, and then it used to be known as like this place where people would compete to be the best LoL player in Brunei. so they'd be there 24/7 playing, ranking all the time, and so. I mean, eventually we decided let's make a team. Let's make a team for Chaps.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Garena because Garena was the platform that time. So eventually, because I noticed that all these tournaments, it's only for Malaysians and Singaporeans. They never included Brunei.
Yeah.
Or if they did include Malaysia, it would be Sarawak and Sabah, but not Brunei. So why are we excluded? So I made my point to them, and eventually they added Brunei into the they allowed us to join. So eventually we joined the Garena. What's that? The Premier, not Premier League, but it's like this. They have this league
Yeah.
online. So then they pick. They keep playing for a one whole season, and then they pick the top four, and then the top four competes to represent Malaysia, Singapore region.
Yeah.
Because Garena has Taiwan, has Vietnam, has Philippines.
Philippines.
So they try to pick for the worlds. They try to pick the best out of Garena, and then represents Garena. But then first is the qualifiers for Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
So Brunei qualified 2 times in a row.
Really?
And so it was Japs Harbinger and Japs Warmongers.
Whoa, that's
So,
That's cool.
but then Japs Warmongers was the one that actually made it to the top 2. And so we were called over to Garena for like photo shoots and all that, just to promote the team for the
Yeah.
finals. So that was in 2015, I think.
that's not even that old.
No, not 2015. Sorry, 2014.
I mean, still, that's only like what, 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6
It's not even that far, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Adib was one of them. He
Yeah. I do remember seeing him like a lot, like especially for the Japs Facebook.
Yeah.
They had an old Facebook account with Japs, this Cyber Cafe, I think. So it shows that all the players like playing. It's actually kind of cool. So how does that translate to you?
being here.
Yeah,
Okay,
being
so
here,
basically, because I was a manager mostly for all the events in Japs, so then eventually, because we had a reputation by then for being like a cyber cafe, a lot of gamers would go to. So then Telbrew, they wanted to start off their fiber optics thing, so they did kickstart a fiber optic roadshow with cyber games. Also went through League of Legends. I had my fair share in trying to compete every now and then, but then I knew my level wasn't really where it would get me to international.
So what rank
standards.
was the highest you ever tried? Since you said you
Okay,
tried.
for LoL, NA was platinum, and then Garena was challenger.
Okay,
Diamond, sorry.
I get it.
What rank are you in?
Only like what in NA highest I got was like gold 3, I think. I didn't bother like trying to climb even more.
Yeah,
I don't play Garena now. I
And
should
the
play
lag
Garena.
was a bit.
Yeah,
unbearable.
I mean, because like the lag, the ping progressively got worse
Yeah.
along the years, so that kind of sucked.
I think everyone started. They played LOL. They started off with an
NA.
NA.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
a
'cause
funny
that was
thing,
the-
you know, actually.
Yeah.
Garena offered a choice for the NA servers to transfer to Garena.
Yes.
But nobody took it.
Yeah.
That's the I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah, Dulu.
Yeah,
Dulu,
but then
yeah.
it wasn't.
Back
It wasn't
Yeah.
very popular. They only opened it for a very short time gap, and then so
Yeah.
only a few Bruneians managed to transfer it over.
How short are we talking about here?
I think it was only like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
What?
I heard about
Sure.
that too.
We actually was given like the go ahead, like okay, you get whoever want to switch from NA to Garena, you give us their account,
Yeah.
we'll do the manual switch for them. So it was actually a win-win if let's say you, because when you play in Garena it's a good ping one.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have like any issues with pigs anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know why Bruneians just want to play and like
I know,
okay.
Yeah. You know, I ended up moving to Japan.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
one thing is I sort of like busted a lot of money and then ate so like I don't want to lose all of that. So like, no, we can't
All
move
the
to Japan. So I'll take that. At least I can still play it and have all my skins.
Yeah.
Even that happened to me as well recently.
Yeah.
I took my NA account to Japan.
Yeah.
Just because of the skins.
You spend a lot of money on your account, so you like. If I don't play on it anymore, so what's the point of what I've poured X amount of money into my account now?
I'll
It's like-
say my account that I've left behind, I haven't touched it in like 3 years, I think. Then I think I spent at least 300 maybe on skins.
Yeah.
Mine
Yeah,
on
skins.
NA almost 1,000.
I think you're closer to his number then.
Almost 1,000.
Probably yeah, because the thing is, right, and that account.
Anything and everything that you wanted, you
It's
can
gonna hurt your
Yeah.
feelings.
But sadly, I had to sell it. I'm playing Garena.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
sold
get to
your.
sell it, right?
Yeah, at least you get.
I had 4 ultimate skin for that.
But okay, that's better because I had a friend of mine. He had like the new Lux Ultimate skin when it came out, and so on. Next thing you know, he clicked on link, and
Yeah.
and it got stolen.
Yeah. Same as my
Oh,
friend also.
Serious. He felt so bad. Like, hey, my roommate ba?
Automated.
Yes.
Is
Feels-
this thing going to
Okay.
keep?
Nah, I mean, roommate. They don't
Yeah.
know who.
I
Roommate,
know,
knows,
right,
yeah. So like, that actually feels bad. Back to you.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we ended up because I focused more on organizing these events, and so I wanted to also start like a whole broadcasting thing. And so during the expos, I used to have a production side where we have a live stream of the events happening, and then we project it onto the screen. So eventually, I tried to find like talents for it. I reached out to people. So we've had Jinbei Jonas on the screen. He's a pretty notable Mobile Legends player around here. And then so we had Coco Eaton, recently a commentator for this DSC Carnival. A couple of other people coming in, talents, and so we're still scouting for more commentators. And so because what ESB does like in the past few years is they organize events, and so that's something because the problem with my production was we needed events to commentate on, and so the more events I had, the more exposure we'd get as commentators, and so that was my goal. So in a way, it worked. It aligned with Hawaii's idea of why ESB should be formed.
So what about the both of you? Small Hakim, any interesting stories on how you guys got to playing games and then helping with tournaments and whatnot. So whichever wants to go first. You Ismail, let's go.
Well, I started playing games around 2015. LOL.
No.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a gamer. Since my friend forced me, play a game. So, yeah, I tried and I found it like, wow, this game is good. So I spent on like hundreds every day from Tutong to Bandar playing games.
Dedication, man.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Tutong.
Yeah,
Bandar,
every day. I spend like $10 a day. Can you imagine every day?
Yeah, I mean like
Yeah.
absidite.
Yeah, plus the field.
Yeah.
And then I joined the first tournament at Times Square.
Okay.
Yeah, and we managed to go to quarterfinals of LOL.
Oh no.
Got stuck by Sigma. Same team every day. And then I retired from LOL and joined Mobile Legend. I play Mobile Legend, and then I have been with Aqua since 3 years already. Yeah, 3 years. From member to leader.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Aqua team start to become famous since the best of 2019 tournament. Ini thanks to Hawaii je lah for the sponsor of our jersey. So we managed to go to the semi-final and lost to Extreme Legends.
Until 2016, I still using Nokia. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
So just snake all day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professional thing.
I think that is such a thing.
What?
Like
Is it
professional
snake?
I have
snake
no
trade.
idea, man.
Maybe
I don't know
in
about
Japan.
professional
Maybe in Japan.
snake.
Japan is like,
Anything can
Com-
be.
yeah, anything is
Export.
possible there, man.
Yeah.
I remember my time. I lived in Japan for a while, and there was a Tetris was pretty common.
Yeah, Tetris
competitive.
competitive.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, they're like, okay, compete. Who's the highest score? Oh, I
Yeah.
want this version of Tetris. You need to get this one and get the highest score.
Yeah.
That is.
And that was a culture that back in the days. I don't know if it's
There's a
happening now.
company.
There is.
Tetris guy.
There's. I think there's Tetris Battle Royale too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tetris
yeah.
99 on the Switch.
So
Is
I
it
don't.
Tetris 99?
I don't
How
know.
does that? How does that
I
work?
don't know. I mean, I
I've
heard
never
my,
seen it play.
my
Anyone
friend
play
said
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a Tetris Battle
Battle
Royale. Like,
Royale.
Battle Royale, but it's Tetris, so
Doesn't make sense.
yeah, it really doesn't.
It
But
shows how games can evolve.
Yes.
yo, that's
Battle Royale, really.
back to Nokia.
Back to Nokia.
Yeah. After that, I don't have any phone because I want to study more.
Woo! Stay in school, kids.
Thursday is cool.
But what made you play like Mobile Legends?
Yeah.
First, ako na to lang pag game na to. Then, my friend,
Bowman.
yeah, man, yeah, this game is fun. I don't know how to play. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? What I mean,
Red sticks there.
Then, he tried to teach me. Namasok lang.
Namasok.
Until 3 to 4 months ka.
4 months.
Yeah, baru paham, okay, this game. And at the same time, I watched a YouTube for
Guys, yeah.
until 2019,
Joined
him,
So
So you've
now-
only been in the organization for a little over a year? Under a year?
Yeah, more or less. If it's like 2018,
Yeah.
2019, baru say, yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
season 7 ka, season 7.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't know.
Last year.
I think probably, yeah.
Sometime last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mobile
Yeah,
Legends
yeah,
is relatively new to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
as old.
I have been playing ML since season 2. That's long.
So speaking of Mobile Legends, since Farhan plays mobile games, what do you guys think of League of Legends on the phone coming out sometime this year? Like,
I don't know. I mean, coming from before, I used to be like knee deep in League of Legends, but then now I'm shifting towards like Mobile Legends, and I mean, for me, in my opinion, I don't want to go back to League of Legends.
Really?
Because it's just too time consuming compared to Mobile Legends, let's say. Because Mobile Legends lasts like 15 minutes or
Yeah.
10 minutes per game,
Yeah.
and then for League of Legends, more often than not, whenever I'm playing, there's like, oh, you gotta do something. But wait, I'm in the middle of a game. It's 30 minutes and it's still
Yeah.
not over.
Yeah.
So you still,
Yeah.
it's really time consuming in that sense. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, in one night, let's say he go to cyber, and then he goes at 6 and he has to go home at 10. He can only play at 3 games.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And then with Mobile Legends, you can play at 6, 7 games,
Yeah.
maybe 8 games, and so you get more fun out of it. And for me, it's that fun aspect that's more that pulls me in. And so, I mean, hearing League of Legends is gonna come out, but still, I feel Mobile Legends has a better edge in this sense.
Yeah.
But the thing
It's
about League of Legends on the mobile, though, however, they've altered it. It's not exactly League of Legends copied onto the mobile. It's actually a more condensed, smaller version. So I would assume that game time should be shorter
they
as well.
would probably
Because
change it out a little
Yeah.
bit.
you have a limited champion pool too. They didn't release all the champions onto the mobile.
And I mean, if you think about it as a whole, League of Legends is owned by Riot Games. Riot Games
Yep.
is owned by Tencent.
Yeah.
Tencent has
Yeah.
released their own version of MOBA when Mobile Legends came out. It was Age of Valor. Age of Valor.
Yeah, Age of Valor. That's right.
Was a rip off of most of the heroes from League of Legends, and so you
Correct.
got the beta version of League of Legends there already, and so it hasn't changed much. And to be fair, then it's still about as long as League of Legends. So I'm not expecting too much because I played Age of Valor and I still prefer Mobile Legends.
What about Vainglory?
Vainglory is a bit different because it's a Korean company, right, that made it. And so it was popular in Korea, 3v3.
Yeah,
It's like the Twisted Tree line in League of Legends.
And apparently it's on PC too now, on Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it is. Kind of surprised.
But it's more, I'll say the mechanics is a lot different. It's more about skill shots.
Yeah. Vainglory is a lot of skill shots. I've tried it like.
It's more about skill shots than positional. Mobile Legends and League of Legends, you have strategies, you gotta work together, you have synergies. And Vainglory is about, I guess, more individual skill shot, how well you're good with targeting.
Kind of like Battle Right.
Oh, yeah.
Battle Right. A lot of skill shots in Battle Right.
Okay, so since Farhan mentioned it, his in-game name was Abilis.
Yeah.
So if I would like for our guests here to tell us like how your in-game names ever came to be, because usually there's like weird like interesting stories behind them.
Okay.
Abilis.
Okay, so Abilis. Okay, so yeah. Okay. It's not that amazing of a story. Okay, so it just happened. It was in my early Dota days. Back before it was popular in cyber cafes, we used to play it on Hamachi servers.
yeah.
So then you had to link with friends. Friends would invite you. Say, "Oh, I'm on this network. Join me."
Yeah.
And so eventually there was a Brunei network. What's that team? One of my cousins. His name was Viper Flight or something. So they were previously the champs for Dota, the previous like Dota tournaments, and so. I was called in, just told them, let's train, let's play together. So eventually I just played together with them. We did some scrims on Hamachi. I kept changing my name, my IGN. And one day I was like sitting in front of my PC. I was like early in the morning, I had breakfast. I had nasi goreng ikan bilis.
That's just
There it is.
And so I was like, okay, what should I call myself? Okay,
Looks like
ikan bilis. So eventually that game I got I think 5-man kill, and I was like owning that game, and so okay I just stuck with that name Ikan Bilis.
Yeah.
And
Brought
eventually
you luck.
people knew me from Ikan Bilis.
Until now.
Till now.
Yo, that was like you stuck with that name for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be this. What about you?
I don't really have any.
Really?
Yeah, just stick with my name's initial H1.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool.
It is. It is.
Simple, straight to point.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
H1, that's my name, Hawaii.
Yeah.
My agent is Horizon. I think that name is from the somewhere restaurant ad.
Yeah, the Honda, right?
Yeah.
Horizon Seafood.
I'll tell my friend, he's the RVA man.
Someone stole your name.
My teams have a unique name, like him, Abang Lembut, and one of my
Oh,
friend
I would
named-
want to know that story.
and one of my friend named Kilat,
Ah. Like
and
Lightning.
one is Akina, Cupcake.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we prawn food.
Interesting.
Mine's from food as well.
Technically.
Cookie dough.
Yeah.
How that?
Cookie and dough, because like I actually did baking last time as well, and I kept on eating cookie while playing games. So I was like, oh, cookie
nice
dough,
cookie,
yeah, let's
yeah.
go for cookie dough.
But the thing is, your spelling is different.
Yeah, it's Kukedo.
Yeah, so, like,
'cause he wants to be unique.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Cookie
Like, it adds.
It adds to his character,
Yeah,
yes.
most definitely. Abang Lembut, boleh cerita kenapa?
Kenapa Abang Lembut?
Kenapa Abang Lembut?
From 2018
Still fresh.
Still
fresh.
Okay. From 2018, I was playing that. Then my friend always asked me that, I'm still new. Yeah, I'm still new. Why you playing so slow? It's okay. Then after on 2019, I changed my GN is Abang Lembut. Yeah, Abang Lembut. All capital letter.
Just go for it. Stick with it.
Wait, then if he is very famous with that name, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you make a brand for yourself, I
Hey,
guess.
what's yours? What's yours?
So like my name is pretty simple. So like I combine. I don't know if any of you watches Sword Art Online.
I watch.
Kirito? Sword Art Online. So like how the main character made his name is like his front, his name and like the name at the back.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
So like
Yeah,
his
I
name is
forgot.
Kirito Kirigaya Kazuto, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I did mine. So my name is Azizi Arifin. I cut everything out. So the first like rendition of the name was Z, and my dad's name Arifin. So I just cut the ends out and then ripped, right? So like it's ripped, but then like it feels a little bit too short. Like I'll add like some stuff in the middle. So Xeno ripped. So, like, yeah, it's
Then
pretty.
that's his
Okay,
idea.
let's go for Kai. Let's go for
Oh
Kai.
gosh. Okay. So
Kairum.
I went through different renditions of my IGN, but the one that I held the longest was Kai Hitsuragi. I'm a weeb. I love anime stuff. I love Japanese culture. My name is Kai, Khai. So what I thought was Kai is a more Japanese name, right? So Kai. Remove the H. What can I do with the H? I just thought of a random Japanese word like Hitsuragi. What does it mean? I don't know.
Is there a meaning?
I've looked it up and I don't think there is a meaning. There is. I know how to spell it in kanji, but it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean Hitsuragi. Because an anime I watched had like Katsuragi, so it was like Hitsuragi instead maybe. Then that's my agenda. But now I go by either Caramel or Caramelicious. Caramel, but instead of CA, it's KAI. Because my name's Kai. So
There's
Caramel.
actually a story.
And I'm
behind-
sweet. You know? I'm a sweet guy.
There's actually a story. There's actually a story as well for my name, right? It's Kokido, right? I actually tried to put it on Google, then actually there's actually a result. It's actually a building.
Oh, Cookie Dough's a building?
Yeah, Kokido is actually a building in Japan.
Alright, so you followed his idea.
I get it.
Horizon and Cookie.
Yeah, Horizon and Cookie Dough.
From
I'm gonna change mine to the box. Get it?
Hit and a miss.
Yeah.
Arwhoosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, from Dota to LOL, and then now LOL to Mobile Legends.
I had this mobile legend, like organizing tournaments and whatnot. So for you guys, what do you think is like the funds and the not funds?
Offense of what?
Of what?
Of what?
what?
Running
Organize.
tournaments. Or, League of... Whoa, but League of Legends is a good game though. Does no one not like League of Legends?
Not anymore, no.
Not that much anymore.
Not anymore, I don't.
I mean, I don't have the pull towards it.
Yeah, so
And also, I mean, the community here isn't what it was back then.
Yeah.
Like then we used to have like people droning in summer cafes just playing League of Legends, but now it's not as common. Yeah, and you hold a tournament, it's only like 16 teams mostly.
because now I think the newer generation is going for Fortnite.
Oh,
Fortnite or any other
PUBG,
Battle
yeah.
Royale type game, yeah.
Yeah, skip
Those are quick games to get. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't last that long. I mean, PUBG maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
but then maybe Apex Legends. Can
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flipping
Flipping
Legends
Legends is
yeah,
so much
it's-
quicker, yeah.
it's actually booming as well.
Fast paced, yeah.
When Amin is actually playing it.
I'm in camera guy plays plays a lot of Apex, yeah.
Right, man?
Yeah, I used to play like 10 hours a day.
Oh.
After uni finished, I was like, oh yeah.
Time for Apex.
yeah, I mean it's really quick pace and it's you get a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah, true. But still not as popular as Fortnite here, right? I think Fortnite
Here-
is much popular.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
Fortnite
Definitely
definitely
myself as well. It's Fortnite.
plays Fortnite.
Yeah,
I
like
use Fortnite.
Yeah, same.
He sucks.
It's just like, I mean, it looks nice to the eyes in a way because with all the fancy
The cartoon,
animation,
yeah,
the
yeah,
cartoons, and especially their collaborations with like Disney, Marvel, Avengers, Star Wars, even
Yeah,
kind of cool. But I just never got into the whole building aspect.
yeah.
I like the building aspect, man. Serious, it's
It's hard.
It's a additional thing to think of.
yeah.
It really is, right? Yeah.
It's like one moment you're fighting, and then a couple seconds later, what? That's a tower? And like fighting in the buildings and collecting resources.
You played Fortnite at which
Say
The early.
early
Early-
version?
John
Super
Wick
early.
skin.
Oh, That was
John
the
Wick.
first season.
I played prior to John Wick, and
That was
I
before that.
yeah
I like
never
those
got used
moments, but the newer vision is
because back then
going
when
off
people
somewhere.
built, they were just okay, build ramp, okay, shoot. But now everyone's like the 360 spin, make a square tower up. It's like, and here I am still building a ramp going up. It's like
I know. I was at
very
that
slow.
time.
yeah, very slow. Like, okay, pick that. But no, they're just
Actually,
super
no idea.
fast. So it's so hard to watch streams too. I don't like watching Fortnite streams for that reason. Like whenever they like super fast build, spin around and whatnot, I can't.
Spinner 120.
That's on PC. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
on
on PS?
Right on PlayStation.
That's the thing, I think.
That's
It's
phone
cross
also.
platform.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfair. I mean,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call it competitive, you should make it equal ground,
Mm,
equal platforms.
for sure.
If you say some players play on PlayStation, some plays on PC, some using controller, some are using mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, PC player will say, "Oh, PC will have advantage because
They
they're
would. Yeah.
using the mouse, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what's actually the difference, but
Yeah.
personally, I will feel PC will have the advantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
because you
Right,
have
right.
finer accuracy and whatnot.
That's why I don't know. Maybe console gamers, their joysticks have like pre-aim gun or something. I don't know, man.
Input.
So what kind of gamers? Probably not a good word, but like which platform would you guys play or choose?
I would choose PC.
PC, 100%.
100%.
I always choose
PC.
I'm going for PC.
I mean, a PC can emulate your phone.
I mean, like, honestly, right?
Yeah,
Honestly.
True, but then the thing is, I think right now gaming is heading towards mobile
Mobile,
phones.
Yeah.
Because PCs are getting smaller.
Yeah.
And phones are getting bigger. Literally, right?
Literally.
The screens are getting so much bigger, yeah.
And PCs are relatively expensive.
And your phone now has 8 gigs RAM.
Yo!
Yeah,
I
8
could
gigabytes
never
of RAM.
fathom that. Okay, phones now, some of them has 8 gigabytes of RAM, whereas like proper laptops you start with sometimes 4.
4, yeah,
So
exactly.
outrageous sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't really understand.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yes,
highest
it's
is
12.
Yeah.
ROG.
Yeah,
Wow.
ROG's is 12. It's insane. Super smooth. Butter smooth.
Butter smooth, huh?
Yeah, butter smooth.
Butter smooth.
So good.
What would you reckon it's worth it though?
For people who mostly like competitive play on mobile, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, if you want the best quality graphics, whatever, PC is the way to
Oh
go.
yeah, yeah, definitely. For
I
sure.
mean, if you want the immersion into the game, if you want to play like any single player games or whatever, or MMOs, then obviously PCs are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, MMOs, even MMO community here in Brunei, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite a lot.
Any experience with MMOs?
Yeah, I used to play this game called like Desert Online.
Oh, you play BDO?
Video. So I used to be in this guild.
I'm not inside this.
Brockus.
Are you
guild.
in?
I love the physics in that game.
It looks
Super
really nice.
grindy,
It's really
though.
smooth. Yes, it gets really grindy.
Super grindy. Gets annoying after a while.
It rewards you for how many AFK hours you leave your PC on.
Yeah, it does.
You have to put it in real time. You
Yeah.
cannot be log off and then you log off and that's it. You don't get any rewards.
Yeah.
You gotta keep your PC on.
Why?
That's their way, the Korean way of like getting your
It
attention.
works though.
It works.
It works. Definitely gets people on and just leaving it like playing in cybers for like hours.
How was your playstyle in BDO?
What? Like
Your
this
playstyle, because like I know you
Yeah.
can like have a business per se in Black Desert Online, where you like run. But it's like a shop thing where you can have your house make money for you. I think. Not
I don't
sure.
know. You can generate like okay. You have so many things to do in video. It's you generate your own economy. You make items, you sell it, but then eventually your whole point of the game is just to get money to upgrade your items.
Yeah.
So the more money you have, the more chances you have to upgrade. But the thing is, that game relies solely on RNG, which is like
Oh,
so
boy.
it depends on your luck. So.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, then you can get full item, max items, one click. But then otherwise, you have to spend hundreds or thousands, or even millions, just to get it.
No. This is why I don't like MMORPGs sometimes.
It all depends on your luck.
Yeah, and it takes like a lot of.
But then obviously, there are some games like Day and Soul, which is
Yeah, Day
you
and
pay and then you get the top items.
Yeah. So
Pay
like,
to win lah.
yeah, pay to win.
Yeah, pay to win. Yeah, which I'm not a fan.
But now I think most Brunei gamers going back to WoW, the MMO.
Yeah. WoW Classic.
But I haven't gotten into it. I've never really played much of it.
Same.
I've never honestly played WoW.
Yeah. Not really into
So
that.
right now, I've never played WoW.
What about card games?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
I'm not inside this. I'm not inside
I prefer
this.
Magic the Gathering
There's-
over stuff like Hearthstone or.
I don't play all
There's
this.
the urban gamers in Hila.
Yeah. I've seen and I've been.
My brother's usually the one selling cards over there.
Oh,
Hilda.
okay. Yeah. Oh, I think I've seen him. I don't remember names, by the way. I
He's
remember
a
faces.
common guy. We've been in this community with the Magic the Gathering for 1990.
Whoa.
It's an old game.
90.
MTG is an
96.
old
I
game.
started in 1996. The Brunei community grew in 2002.
Yo, what the
And then eventually, from then, me and my brothers, we've been like constant people growing it out. So we've taken it to like CCAs and schools.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mount Abduli, a couple of that. So then we're trying to grow it, and then slowly, even UBD now they have an ECA club that is there.
Yeah.
But that's not many people see it as much. I mean, you can't get much out of it, but it's just it's more of a hobby.
Yeah.
I feel like MTG also is like under the radar when it comes to card games too.
Yeah.
But then actually, if you see the prize pools of the Grand Prix, it's
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah, it is millions. It is actually millions.
So like,
Like KL Grand Prix, you get $1 million. And then they do how many Grand Prix per year? I think like 16 or 30.
16?
They keep traveling to the main cities. You go
Yeah.
Singapore, KL, there's Tokyo, Shanghai, all the European cities. So they do a lot of tours, and then it's a few 100,000 or sometimes a million, depending on the cities. And that's just for playing card games.
exactly.
And half the time, if you play right, you do it right, you play for free. Because you get back, okay, you there's something in Magic the Gathering where you make your own deck, or you come, they call it drafting, where
drafting.
you just have random cards, you make do with what random cards you have.
Yeah.
And then eventually, if you keep winning, you just keep getting free packs.
Yeah.
And then you can recycle the pack and keep going.
Yo, that's cool.
I prefer drafting because I don't like thinking of how to make synergetic card decks. I just draft and it's like, okay, so I guess I'm working with this, you know.
True.
If it works, it works.
It works. If it doesn't, I lose.
Alright.
But I have to commend the system of the whole Magic the Gathering, how they hold their events. Even though it seems like it's not really, it's just people sitting down, right?
Yeah,
But actually, there's a system to it.
Yeah.
They're going to be recognized internationally. They have a database.
Yeah.
You get your own DCI number, we call it.
Oh.
And so then you're registered and you get an international ranking. And then so for every tournament you join, they rank the tournament, whether it's a small scale, large scale, or Grand Prix. And then so depending on that, they give you certain points. And eventually, if you join a Grand Prix, you win so and so. You can be placed top 1 in Brunei or wherever. The highest I got is top 2. That's it.
Oh.
Yo.
Me and my brother, my brother top 1.
It's still within the family.
But among like around 30 of us. And then usually in Borneo, we would be the ones nominated.
Wow.
Cool. Because do they do that for the computer game MTG Arena?
MTG
Because it
Arena,
recently fully released, right?
MTG online, right?
Yeah, that is the
That's
online version of
online
MTG.
Yeah, so they rebranded it. And
Yeah,
I
they
think
rebranded.
it's similar, very
Yeah.
similar.
'Cause
But let's
I
not go
play-
back all the way back
That's-
the editions, because 1992, I think, when it first came
Yeah,
out
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
But this was the more recent one. I played that one a lot more now than I did the card game.
Fun fact,
DJ Arena.
PewDiePie plays Magic the Gathering online.
Does he?
He does, and he's actually pretty good at it too.
Mm.
I was actually kind of surprised. Not
Right.
gonna lie.
I recommend it as a card game. It gets you thinking. It really, so many strategies, everything. But then, each to their own.
Have you tried Hearthstone?
It's a pay to win game.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
pay to win.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't like it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's pay to win. In
So
order to get the
expensive.
cards that are good, you need to buy them.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's made by the same creators, Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, they're the ones who make D&D. I think.
They're the ones also that made it.
Oh.
We started out D&D, I think.
Oh yeah, Wizards
Yeah,
and
Wizards of
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast, because they D&D also have like a weird registration system. Like, okay, if you play this, they see it as a league and whatnot. It's kind of
Yeah, so I mean,
complicated.
like in Brunei, to hold a big league, you have to have a referee, an official referee in Brunei, and so we do have one. It's I think two qualified ones, and then because of them, then we can hold them here in Brunei.
That's
But if they're not in Brunei, then
Can't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
won't be sanctioned. So I mean, they have a nice system here, and they've kept it up. Like anywhere in the world, technically, even game shops, you could just go there, you get your system. I've joined. I was in the UK a couple of times. I joined a few local tournaments, and then that really adds up to my rankings.
Yeah, rankings. Yeah. That's cool. So I guess that's how they do it with Tekken as well.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, okay, multiplayer games fun. What about single player games? One single player game that you like.
Single player.
Single player.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you play any single player games at all?
Any really?
Yeah, anything,
Console.
anything.
Console, mobile.
Yeah.
I don't really have any single player games.
Actually, I like FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
I play for fun though.
FIFA.
I played since FIFA, I think FIFA 06.
FIFA
Wow.
06.
Back then,
I think
when I was young, when I don't have
PES.
PC.
Yeah.
PES?
Yeah.
Yeah, PES.
Then FIFA Street.
FIFA Street, I did try it.
We didn't try
I
it.
did try it.
Is it supposed to be like Volta? Essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Volta.
Yeah.
It's basically Volta.
Yeah. FIFA Street is
Yeah.
essentially Volta.
FIFA
Same thing,
Street.
right?
Yeah. But do you still play FIFA?
Occasionally or?
Occasionally, yeah. I play for fun lah. Like when I have time, I just put on console and just play. Actually, I play on the Steam version.
Oh, Steam version.
Is it hard to find players for
It
Steam?
was quite hard.
I can play the story mode.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
story mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort
It's
of like a
like-
campaign. It's
yeah.
it's in for NBA too, which I play.
So how does story mode for FIFA work?
You play the character, you just.
Yeah, I just started using it.
What is
Like
it called in
Cyborg.
FIFA?
I forgot what's the name.
Yeah.
I know it's Alex.
Alex Hunter.
Yes,
I
Alex
forgot
Hunter.
what was the.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Cameraman?
I forgot. I only played the first one. I think it was FIFA
Alexander.
17. Yeah.
Alexander.
The last was FIFA 19, and then FIFA 20. I just played during the ESB carnival. Just
Oh,
try
yeah,
it
yeah,
out. Try it
Yeah,
out.
this thing.
It's a whole different thing actually from FIFA 17 to FIFA 20.
Really?
The gameplay is.
Super different.
The last FIFA I played is 2018. 2008.
Oh my
You know,
god!
the PS1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I still pretty much enjoy the older FIFA now.
Yeah.
It's like pretty simple. You don't need so many like
Intricate
Yeah,
button
yeah,
controls.
Like control joysticks here and then like oh shit. The new FIFA I actually don't know how to control these skill sets, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, so much to think of.
I usually just press
Hash.
sprint and then pass, cross,
Pass?
or shoot.
Yeah. Right.
That's how I play.
Because like right now, I don't play FIFA. I hate it. I am
we
bad
just
at
played
it.
FIFA. Just
Yeah, they literally just played FIFA like a couple of minutes ago before you guys arrived.
Yeah.
So like, I don't understand why they. I mean, like, okay, that skills makes it look nice, but like, I only know pass, square, triangle, and that's all I know.
What does triangle do?
what's the triangle do?
No.
Oh, that's true ball, right?
Yeah, triangle is your pass.
Yeah, that really.
You do that. That's
That's
long.
the cross.
That's
the
the cross.
square.
That's the circle.
That's L1 triangle, my boy.
Yeah. That's how much I don't play.
Lock true balls. I don't know. I mean, I just like it back then when it was simple.
Yeah.
It wasn't so like frustrating. Like,
Not so many buttons. It's just pass.
Remember
shoot.
the combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like San Andreas, like when cheat code up, down, left, right.
L1, L2.
Yeah, because like back then we like for the PS2 single player games, you don't have internet
Yeah.
properly, so like I remember writing the
I have,
cheat codes down on the board.
I have a piece of paper that's GTA San Andreas cheat codes, and
Yeah.
from top to bottom, like everything I've got
I
them.
remember this. I used to print the whole thing.
Exactly
Yeah.
right, and I
used to
kept
put
it in the box
keep,
of
like,
San
reference-
Andreas.
Yeah.
Just left it in the box. Okay, whenever I play it, I take the paper out and okay.
You guys play GTA?
Yeah. Why don't you use
Legends.
it?
Every now and then, but I haven't
I don't-
completed the whole thing.
GTA apa lu net?
No, not a single one. I mean, I played every one, but I never completed a single one.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
yeah, same.
I never
Just
played
play
except for
halfway
San
to
Andreas.
Halfway
Uh,
through,
stop.
stop.
Yeah.
Still long
Halfway.
in the game. I even played what's the game called?
GTA 5 you play?
Watch Dogs.
Watch
finished.
Dogs. Yeah.
Watch
I played
Dogs,
the
Watch
first one.
Dogs.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah,
one was
yeah.
kind of fun. The
Yeah.
driving was wonky.
Yeah.
I hated it.
The second one is still driving is wonky.
Yeah. I think it's worse in the second one now,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, it goes like.
It's really crazy. Yeah. It's not nice.
Mine is Far Cry.
Far
Oh,
Cry.
Far
yeah,
Cry,
Far Cry
yeah.
is definitely good.
Long story also.
What's your favorite Far Cry?
5.
Hmm.
think
That's the one with
twins. I think
that's
the-
the one with
You used to
purple jacket, right?
Yeah, twins,
Main-
right?
Is it the
I
twin?
think the enemy is twins.
GTA 5 belum?
Isn't that 6?
After
I think
I forgot what's the last one.
Is
I
it
think
5?
like-
The
I
blonde
think
hair
PS2
jacket.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
that's
I mean
the
the-
After that, I
father?
stopped playing GTA.
Liberty City
with
was
the
fun.
three-
Oh, Liberty
Until
City.
Liberty
I think that is
City.
for
Oh,
PS4.
PSP.
That might be.
Yeah.
Until they made just the PC version. So.
Yeah. Liberty City.
Huh?
Liberty City.
Liberty City.
Oh, Liberty City. I prefer Vice.
I like Liberty.
I like Vice.
I think
Mine
Vice
Vice.
was my last. No,
Vice was your last?
I think so. I can't
I really like Vice punya like aesthetic with all the neon.
Yeah, that's why I liked it too. The purple, teal, and then like black or something.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yellow is.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so single player games. I mean, apparently none of you play single player games, really.
Not too much.
We're a team player, you know.
Yeah, you know, let's go. I got played there. So,
Heavily outplayed.
What about sports?
Sports,
You guys play
sports
any
or
sports?
sports?
No, sports.
sports.
Well, yeah,
Frisbee.
I used to be pretty active like in a lot of sports like tennis, football, basketball, swimming, frisbee,
Wow.
Is it really-
rugby,
Yeah.
badminton, all things.
Wow. Everything.
That's actually pretty.
A lot. That's a
So
lot.
I went through a whole phase in my childhood with going testing. I was doing my discovery year for UBD, and I was doing a study abroad for 1 year in Utah. So I watched Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
Tickets were super cheap.
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah, they are. They are.
But no,
You think
yeah,
you think they're
$5
hella
just walk
expensive, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like at the door, okay, on tickets, okay, $5. Sometimes there's even people outside. They're like, okay, free, here,
Just-
tickets,
just-
just
yeah, just come
tickets.
inside,
I
yeah.
couldn't-
Honestly, honest to
Maybe
God.
just Utah lah, right?
Utah, no, there's a few. I mean, other
Different places too.
Other
Yeah.
places, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
The high traffic ones like LA and stuff like that, they don't.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Because I went to LA that day. I was.
Oh, LA is
I was,
harder.
I was at
LA,
LA for E3 actually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, you went to E3?
Yeah, I went there last year.
Last year!
I didn't, yeah, it
Did
was-
you
it was-
see, what's his name? You're breathtaking.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh no.
Was he not
Uh,
in E3?
He was
What?
there
That
before
was VGA.
E3 started. Actually.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk,
Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Was it not E3?
But he was never in the event.
sorry.
Yeah, it never wasn't.
He was at the launching of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Which is
announcing.
in. Was it in VGA?
I'm not sure where, but
I think it was
he
the
wasn't.
VGA.
He wasn't at E3.
Yeah, it wasn't at E3.
Oh, that was.
E3 was it? What else?
How was it?
How was the atmosphere?
How's the people?
Actually, I went there as a scout to find like game developers because I have a friend back in KL who wants to develop a game.
Mm.
So I was trying to find some developer who's interested because we want to develop something like a mobile game for mobiles. So I actually approached a few like Blizzards, Epic Games, what else? Konami.
Konami, yeah.
So they're actually interested in the money side. So like, how much are you willing to spend? Because to develop a game is not cheap.
It really is.
Definitely
It
not,
is
yeah.
not cheap.
So for me, I wasn't there as a consumer. I was there more towards the business side.
Okay.
So but then the crowds were really epic lah, I would say.
Yeah.
They literally line up for like 3-4 hours just to try out the game. Like holy shit, I wouldn't do that, man.
Yo, 4 hours.
Yeah. I think the most crowded hall was the one where there's Borderlands 3,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with Borderlands
yeah,
3.
Definitely.
Rainbow Siege.
There are 6, yeah.
What else?
Fortnite.
Oh yeah, Fortnite. Oh, Fortnite hall has the biggest one.
Yeah.
They literally
course.
took half the hall.
Half the hall.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would
And
not
I
be
actually went there and
surprised.
tried the game. I have no idea what I'm doing the whole time.
Call of Duty. What about Call of Duty? I mean, Modern Warfare was there.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, we were there. We were there.
Mod Warfare?
I think I didn't really see that. I mean, they didn't really see that booth because maybe it wasn't as big. Because certain games they actually did quite a big booth.
Yeah.
It's like 50 times of ICC the plenary.
Yo,
That is big.
That's just, yeah, I was surprised when I just walked in like, oh shit, this is
that is
not
like
a normal
freaking huge,
convention.
Yeah.
I went there like hall by halls. Spread out the people there is actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's really crowded.
And people waiting 3-4 hours for lines.
Yeah, just to get the I think goodies or something.
Yeah.
If you try the game to get goodies, but it's limited to I think 100 100 people per day.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, my friend, Easy, right? Easy wanted me to bring back the goodies for him. But then I saw the car, I took a picture and I said, no way, I'm gonna line up.
No way, bro. No way. For X amount of money, maybe I will. I'll consider.
No, it's actually not, but it's actually too tiring. Because I think I overheard some people, they actually paid someone to like stand in line for them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I actually had that, can you like queue in the line for me or something for about $50.
Pay $50.
What the?
I think like that's why I overheard because there's too many people around.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the queue is like people usually just like 2 lines of queue stands. This is like 4, 5, 6 queue stands. People like that. Like, holy
And then
shit.
it's a long ass.
Going there just to see 5 minutes of the game and then okay.
Yeah.
So
And
5
then
minutes, play like couple, like 10
Couple
more,
games.
and then you bounce.
that takes away time from visiting the rest of the
Yeah.
places too. You know.
Eye opener for me, like I see a lot of big brands there. Like I saw even Facebook Gaming was there.
Yeah,
Facebook
They,
Facebook gaming.
they,
yeah.
like, I think promoting their brands.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in some famous streamers from Brazil, from Europe. They were just there doing some like broadcasting,
Yeah.
podcasts. What else?
Facebook gaming, I think they really started. Because if I'm not mistaken, Facebook gaming is relatively new.
Yeah.
They're trying to separate normal streaming on Facebook with Facebook gaming because they want to compete against Twitch and Mixer and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting about Facebook gaming, to be honest.
But I think they actually put in quite a big amount of money because
Yeah.
they actually paid their streamers quite a lot.
Yeah, because they have the resources to do so.
Mark?
But now, I don't. Twitch is actually. Mixer is actually doing well as well. Taking Shroud and.
Yeah, Shroud is taking it.
Ninja, yeah.
The first signing was Ninja, and then it's a lot of them, especially Shroud. When he moved to Mixer, there was a big influx in Mixer. I feel.
Shroud's my.
Shroud's your idol.
No, streamers, man. So much fun.
He's. I like Shroud.
I like Myth. TSM Myth. He plays Fortnite too. I like
Yeah.
Myth. I like Myth as a character.
No
I'll
favorite
do
streamer.
No worries. You used to follow it back in my ball days, but then since then TSM like the main people broke up.
Yeah,
everything, so
yo.
Yeah.
then, didn't follow
He's a
much.
TSM
anymore.
fanboy.
He's a TSM fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fanboy. I enjoy it.
What do you
No,
mean?
what do you
not
mean? You have the
fanboy?
jacket there.
I just have a jacket, bro. Calm down.
You also hype them up really hard.
No, because like old TSM was actually pretty good.
And they were fun to watch.
They
and
were
then
fun
after
to
that,
watch.
the chemistry was gone and everything.
Yeah.
Then so it's
The most disheartening thing was watching Dyrus leave at the final part where
Yeah.
he cried on the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
field.
yeah. During the interview,
first it
right?
was the odd one.
Yo, odd one left one like so sad. Feels
Since
bad,
then, because I was a jungler back then. So,
Oh,
so I used to follow him, but then since he left, I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
I guess I'll leave too. That's my cue to leave. Yeah.
Mobile Legends. Hello. But yeah, I guess that's one of the few. How would you say it? The beginning of a beautiful friendship for everyone. So we would like to probably wrap it up a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We have guests from ESB and LG Aqua, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and this is your host. You can say that, yeah, the moderator, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, see you guys again in episode number 5, where we will be talking about something. And this is Z.
Howdy.
Farhan.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Kai.
Yeah, bye bye.
Alright.
Bye bye.